Good morning, all of you, and I'm back with the new topic for all of you. And this time, I have taken the topic from what the students have been asking me again and again, that in string programming, how the use of ASCII will help us to get a better in grip of the string programming. Now, ASCII is a thing that stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. It's the full form of ASCII. Actually, it is a 7-bit character set, and it is divided into two parts. One is an ASCII, which has the starting number from 0 to 127, and then the extended ASCII that starts from 128 to 256. So basically, the ASCII is divided into two parts. In easy to understand, or for class 10th level, somebody asks you, you can say that the ASCII starts from 0 and it extends to 255. So in all, there are 256 ASCII characters. They are divided into two parts: the 7-bit, the starting of the general ASCII one, and the next one is an 8-bit. This is the theoretical based question, but the video is mainly discussed and focused on the use of programming of the ASCII part. So when we discuss about ASCII, it is almost compulsory for us to discuss about the Unicode also. Now Unicode is a character set which has which is said to include all the languages of the world, including the Hindi, the German, and the Chinese. Whatever characters you can find in the world in any language, including numbers, characters, and all. So total, it is something in 11 lakhs character. It is going to represent. It has everything. Now, why the question of Unicode is there, that you just need the introduction of what is a Unicode. It is a much wider aspect, and the first starting 0 to 255 characters are ASCII. So most of the many students actually confuse both ASCII or Unicode, and they think that they are same also. So the difference lies in the number of the characters they can hold. As such, Unicode is not the thing which we use a lot. ASCII also we use for some specific programming, that too is based with strings only. There are few one or two programs, or there are few programs that if you can do with ASCII also, and now they have been explained in the previous classes with the use of Boolean functions. So these are the list of the few ASCII characters that you need to remember in case you want to do some programming with ASCII. And remember, the ASCII can also be asked in the string programming in the output writing part, and especially with one function compared to, in case you want to calculate the output that is originated when the compare to function is used, then you got to know the ASCII value correctly. So let us have a look on the few ASCII function. Now here I have made a list of the capital alphabets. Capital A ASCII value 65, 25 characters, 26 characters, so 65 it starts and end to 90. That is for capital Z. Small a 97, small z 122, and now the move on to the digits 1. So 0 it is 48, and 9 it is 57. So these are the ASCII values you got to remember in case you want to use ASCII in your programming, and not to mention the last one, that is 32, which is a blank character. Now here I have explained to you that how do you get the ASCII value of a character. So the small two lines in the character C, I am storing a value A, and then when I am converting that C to an integer value, which is not possible, so it gives the ASCII value of A to R. I repeat again, when you store a value A, small a, to the character C, and then you try to convert C to the integer R, which is not possible. How can a character be converted to the integer? So it gives the ASCII value. So in case you print R, then 97 will be printed, which is the ASCII value of small a. Now this is converting a number back to the character. So let's if we take a number like 66, and in case you have noticed that in the previous part this is the implicit typecasting which I am using, and here it is the explicit typecasting which I have used, and just by writing it here cat t is equal to char r, you can get the character which you know that the ASCII value of the character 66 is capital B. So this is the way from a character you can easily find out the ASCII value or the given character set value. I have taken a sample program in the next slide to explain to you that how actually we can use the ASCII in the programming. Now here it is a very simple program which is inputting a sentence and printing the total number of capital alphabets present in it. Now the program is very simple. We will input the sentence using a BlueJ method, finding its length, and then having a loop from 0 to the length, chopping one by one all the characters, and then now this check of if here, P is greater than 64 and P is less than 91. This check here, and P is less than 91. Now in this check, if the character that have been chopped, now normally when we chop the character it is always in char, but in this case I have taken int here. So when I have taken int here, then we will get the ASCII value of the chopped character. The chopped character ASCII value lies between 65 to 90. It will be taken as a capital alphabet, and a counter to count how many times this value is came to true. So this same program in your previous videos I have done with the case help of character dot is uppercase. But this is another method of doing, and as I have told you, there are few things which cannot be done without the use of ASCII. So knowing ASCII values will help you to get very good marks, or you can attempt all the programs using the ASCII function. This is the output of the program, in which you can see that in the input if I give this is big world, a capital big world is used, and it will count all the number of characters, which are 9 in this case, 3 and 5 and plus 1 T here. So this output will come to 9 characters. Now this is the end of the ASCII value, where we have told you the output writing also, how the ASCII values can be used. You can just use a simple char function with an integer part, and you can use this an if line and a counter to help you to find the functions. Now that's all for the ASCII, but before going, I have been asked a lot of time about the comments also. Now these are the 3 types of comments you have in Java. The first one is a single line comment, which is starting with double backslash. Now you can put the single line comment in case if you see this program here, I have used a multi-line comment here where backslash star, and after 2 lines I have closed this comment. So both the lines will not be executed by the Java compiler. If it is a 1 line only, then I would have used a single line comment, just write 2 backslashes in the starting of the line, and that line will not be executed by the Java compiler. Multi-line comment I have just shown you in the program, and documentation comment, which is very rarely used, especially somebody who wants to generate the external documentation about the source code. But these are the 3 different types of comments that you can use in the program. And in the end, thank you very much for watching the video. Please like and subscribe the channel if you are interested to get more Java tutorials on programming. Thank you very much.